It is time now to bring in our State House insiders. Antoine Seawright, our Democratic strategist, and also Dave Wilson, our Republican strategist. Coming up on Tuesday of next week, it is that special Republican Senate primary runoff between Senator Darlene Graham and 5th District Congressman Ralph Norman. Everybody, it seems, Dave, is still talking about that debate from the other night. Blunders, perhaps, by Senator Graham when it comes to talking about national security. What are you hearing?
Keep in mind that the senator's job is a 6-year job. It is meant to last longer, to not just focus on the small issues in front of us, but the bigger issues that are going on, not only on the national front, but on the international front as well. And that is going to have to be a question that she's going to have to answer, whether or not she is understanding the full depth of those responsibilities. But Lord knows Donald Trump is going to do everything he can to make sure that she's there coming to South Carolina tomorrow to make sure that there's at least his voice support for her.
Well, the debate the other night was living proof why some people believe that she was a DEI hire. It's one thing to promote her to the U.S. Senate to fill an unexpired term. It's another thing to say that you have the opportunity to compete for a 6-year term just because you're Lindsey Graham's brother and you've been around his politics. This is not an on-the-job training situation. The U.S. Senate is very serious business. And I think not knowing how many people in South Carolina, 5.5 million is the number, not 50 million, not understanding the national security presence behind the conversations around Taiwan and China. The same thing that Republicans in this state, including Lindsey Graham, criticized Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for and made a mockery of her on Fox News for a week. Yet Sean Hannity last night was trying to act as if that wasn't a big deal. It is a big deal. And at the same period of time, Ralph Norman and Senator Graham trying to act as if the affordability crisis is not brought to you and sponsored by them, who've been in charge of our state for 2 decades now. I think it's a joke. And I think that's why the debate the other night made a strong case for why Dr. Annie Andrews will be the next U.S. Senator from South Carolina.
I think Antoine's got a great point. There was not a chance for Dr. Annie Andrews to be able to even think about winning this race when Lindsey Graham was still in it. No matter how well she debated, he was going to pull 52 to 58% no matter what. That's just the way he's done it, and he did it for decades. She now has a chance if she wants to do a contrast. And I think the Democrats, if they're smart on this one, they're going to try to pour a lot of money into South Carolina to flip that seat.
Any blunders on Ralph Norman's part, Antoine, that you heard the other night?
Well, trying to act as if he was some Washington insider. He's been in the Congress. He's the one that advocated for term limits, yet he's a 70-plus-year-old man, a career politician himself, under the new guidelines of career politicians. So I think trying to run as a Washington outsider is a mistake, and also trying to act as if he does not need the MAGA coalition to be successful to some degree in South Carolina, and then try to act as if he has some detachment to what we see happening in Washington. He voted for the big nasty bill, which includes largest cut to Medicaid and SNAP benefits in American history. That's going to have impact on research and our institutions here in South Carolina, not to mention the affordability crisis we've seen from a healthcare perspective in Washington. So to act as if he's somehow detached from political reality, I think that's a mistake. I think it's not authentic. It's dishonest. And I think he will be held accountable either in this primary or November for that.
I think the biggest thing that Ralph Norman is facing right now is the fact that he did not get enough of voters to counter what could possibly be coming from Donald Trump coming into the 7th Congressional District this weekend to turn around and throw his support for Darlene Graham, and with Russell Fry putting his support behind Graham as well. I think the bigger question that's going to have to be asked is, can a guy who says he's been an outsider and a naysayer fill a position where Lindsey Graham was known for being the person to bring the right and the left together? We're looking at more polarization happening, not less. And that's I don't think is exactly what the U.S. Senate needs right now.
And I would argue that we're likely 99.9% going to have a split Washington. Either we're going to have a Democratic majority in the House and the Senate, in the White House that's Republican, or we're going to have a Democratic House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican presidency. So the idea of ignoring the other side because you do not agree with them, I think, is out of touch with the political reality. And that's why we need a consensus builder in the United States Senate. That's Dr. Annie Andrews.
All right, one more day of early voting, and that is tomorrow. Then the special primary runoff taking place next Tuesday. We have more details on all of this for you right now. Simply go to our website, WLTX.com. Quick break.